All right, so on this episode of Invest in Your Marriage, we want to talk about the art of the apology. So, apologizing isn't always an easy thing to do. It takes humility, it takes insightfulness, it takes strength and courage. So, not everybody is really good at apologizing. My dad, when I was a little girl growing up, he would say, I may not always be right, but I'm never wrong. And I unfortunately adopted a little bit of that mentality and brought it into my marriage. So in year 10, when I found myself in Christian counseling with my husband said to our therapist, like, Sonya doesn't ever think she does anything wrong. She doesn't ever apologize for anything. I was floored. I almost fell off the therapist's couch. I said, that's not true. I say I'm sorry all the time. And the therapist really opened my eyes to the reality. I actually did say, I'm sorry a lot. And I would say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you don't like the way that I did this. I'm sorry you don't agree with me. Um, you guys, that's not an apology at all. And I had faked myself into believing that that was an appropriate apology, but it wasn't. Telling somebody you feel sorrow about something is not apologizing. So, the art of the apology is when you apologize for something that you did. You recognize the hurt that you have inflicted on the person that you care about. And you say to them, hey, I apologize for being really short with you in the kitchen when you got home from work. I disregarded the hug you tried to give me because I was busy and focused on cooking dinner, and I ignored you, and that was rude of me and very unthoughtful. I apologize. Will you forgive me? Now, you have been accountable to apologizing well. You can't force somebody to accept your apology. That's up to them. But at that point, oftentimes spouses are very warm and tender toward a genuine apology and typically will accept that apology quickly, and the account is kept clean and connected. When we go through multiple moments where we hurt each other intentionally or unintentionally, it tends to make us more resentful and more short-tempered and more disconnected with each other. So this ability to figure out how to practice the art of the apology, put it into like your everyday life, will not only keep your conscience clear and clean, but it'll also help you stay connected to your spouse. It'll help you avoid some of the pain that can build up between us that keeps us from wanting to trust each other, from wanting to be close to each other, and from wanting that kind of emotional, safe intimacy with each other. So learning how to do this skill is pivotal for your marriage. It will help you go. If you've been going in one direction in your marriage, that's not been healthy or good, when you learn this particular technique, it can help your marriage pivot into a different direction that is connected and close and safe. So let's practice it again. The art of the apology. I recognize that I did not follow through with what I said I was going to do. I did not take the trash out to the curb, and today was trash day. So now we have to figure out what to do with trash for a week. It's going to be gross and stinky, and it's because I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I apologize for not following through and for making that kind of mess happen in our family. Will you please forgive me? And I'll try harder next week to remember that and to make that a priority. Okay, so there's another example. Here's one. I apologize for spending money on fast food the last week of the month. When we talked about our food budget, I intentionally went over that budget, and I really wasn't thinking about your feelings or how you had set that up for us because you care about our family. I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't considering that. And I just did what I wanted to do without processing the impact that would have on you or our budget. Will you please forgive me? So acknowledge what it was that you've done. Acknowledge what it is that your partner may be feeling or has expressed to you that they're feeling. And then after you acknowledge those things, ask for forgiveness. All right, the art of the apology. Practice it well. And for you guys tonight, if you've watched this episode, I want you to pray and ask God to help you recall anything that you might need to apologize for, even if it's something small or maybe if it's something big. And try it out this week with your spouse. The art of the apology. You may need to go back and watch this episode a few times. I probably will have to go back and watch it myself. It's not always easy to practice this skill, but there's a lot of fruit that comes out of it if you do. Thanks for joining me.